Hey y'all, Caitlin here with your second episode of Caitlin Edwards Fitness on IGTV in my Wine Talks. Okay, so last week we made mention of fascia and I told you what it is and how to keep it nice and fluid. So this week I want to talk about scar tissue and kind of when fascia gets a little insane. So what is scar tissue? So scar tissue happens when you have a tear or a rip in your fascia, and the collagen actually comes to play and it really fills that gap so that you create more fascia. Well, the thing is, the body is really efficient at healing itself, and it tends to overproduce the collagen and the fascia, so then you end up with these dense, thick pockets of just scar tissue, and it can kind of encapsulate the nerves and the muscles, and a lot of times it creates range of motion issues and sometimes even pain. So a lot of people have been known to undergo a second surgery to clear the scar tissue out of the way, which with everything that I know now, seems almost counterintuitive to undergo a procedure and more surgery for something, because that kind of gave you the scar tissue in the first place. So what you can do, there's some techniques here. You can get rid of scar tissue on your own, and I've actually done it myself. I'll get into that a little later. But scar tissue has a tendency to be dense. So step one, stay hydrated. Step two is there's this technique called thixotropy, and what it does is it heats the fascia, so the fascia turns from this tacky, sticky, dense structure to nice and fluid, like how we want it, right? And so when it becomes fluid, your body has the ability to reabsorb and uptake what we don't need. But it's a little bit more than that. It's not just heating it. Otherwise, people will be able to put a heating pad on their backs and voila. Unfortunately, that's not how it works, but it is a good part, and it's a good way to get you on the road to getting rid of that extra fascia and that dense scar tissue and breaking through it. Another step that you would need to take is deep stretching and strengthening eccentric exercises, which I will definitely get into so deep on the next episode. That's what's coming next, you guys. But it is very possible to get rid of your scar tissue without going under the knife. I think there are some circumstances where you would need to have surgery maybe to get rid of scar tissue, but a lot of times you can do it on your own through certain methods that I am getting into in these episodes. Alright guys, moving forward, I personally have gotten rid of scar tissue in my own body. Let's see, I'm 28 now, so 6 years ago I actually had surgery to get benign lumps removed from my breast. Check yourselves, ladies. And that left me with scar tissue, and they told me that that was gonna happen, but what they suggested was to take the scar tissue between my fingers and massage it, and that does work for some people. Unfortunately, it's in a really sensitive area, and it didn't really feel good to kind of try to rub the scar tissue between my fingers and rub it out. So I just left it. I still do regular self-breast examinations, and I always felt that scar tissue there. And initially I thought, oh, I hope this isn't another lump, but knowing that it was in the same area and it was in line with the scar that I have, I figured out that it was scar tissue. Well, the last 6 months, I've learned what's called muscular recalibration, and I've taken that with my clients. I have all my clients do it. We get them in line, and I do it myself actually once a week. I go into the gym and I do my deep stretching and strengthening exercises. It heats up my body because I'm working, so I'm getting that thixotropy, I'm staying hydrated, and I'm getting these nice deep stretching movements in, and it does help break up the scar tissue. And I can tell you, in my last breast examination, because I do those regularly, I had no issues. Scar tissue is actually completely gone, so you can get rid of it. So I would, before you go under the knife to get rid of scar tissue, or you let it freak you out, or you let it control your life and cause chronic pain and lack of range of motion, drink your water, try the Thixotropy, and stay tuned for this next episode that I'm gonna share with you guys to help break down the scar tissue and get you back to moving freely and pain-free. Alrighty guys, that's all I have for you today. The importance of your fascia and what you can do to eliminate scar tissue because it can be done. Alright, cheers!